to the Mendel laws. So he given many laws, majorly Mendel law, first law, second law, law of segregation. I think you all heard about that. But before going to that, how the Mendel is studied. So when he studied in the 19th century. So in the 19th century, the Mendel studied on the common plant, that is pea plant, green peas. Many people love green peas, right? Where you eat in pani puri, pulao. Those are called pea. Okay, green pea. So those green pea plants where he studied. Those pea plants are studied by the Mendel around, that is 7 years. He studied for 7 years, but because that's why he become father of genetics. But what we will do, daily we eat green pea and we sleep, that's it. That's become because we are like this, and Mendel become the father of genetics. Okay, so coming to the his inventions. So Gregor Mendel studied about pea plant for 7 years, and what he studied in the pea plants, he studied the variations and also the process of inheritance. So how he studied? So he considered mainly 14 true breeding lines. So he considered 14 true breeding lines of pea plant. Or we can also consider those 14 true breeding lines as seven contrasting pairs. Okay, so this is a very important question for your MCQ. If they ask true breeding lines, how many true breeding lines are selected by the Mendel? The answer is 14. But many students will select the 7. This is wrong. Okay, so 7 contrasting pairs, but 14 true breeding lines. Okay, if they ask contrasting pair or contrasting character, so that is 7. But if they ask two breeding lines, it is 14. Okay, don't forget while answering the MCQs. Okay, so coming to the his invention, he considered 7 contrasting pair for his studies. So which are those contrasting pairs? Means contrasting means opposite, means white black, that is contrast, black red, that is contrast. So like that, 7 contrasting pairs of pea plant where the Mendel selected are. So the first one is stem length. So in stem length we have two contrasting characters. It might be tall or it might be dwarf. And coming to the next character, that is flower color. So in flower color again we have two contrasting characters, that is violet and also white. Okay, and coming to the third character, that is flower position. So I think you know the position of flowers. Yavyadu axial and terminal. Next character. So he selected 7 contrasting characters. In those, the first one is stem length, flower color, flower position. And coming to the fourth one, that is pod color. Pod means the overall fruit. For example, if you observe the beans, the overall beans is considered as pod. Okay, so the color means again in that we have two colors. The dominant character or the contrasting characters are green and yellow. Okay, next is pod shape. Again in pod shape, we have two contrasting characters, that is constricted, flat and constricted position. Okay, and coming to the next character, that is seed color. So in seed color, the contrasting characters are yellow and green. Okay, and seed shape. In seed shape, again we have two characters, that is round and wrinkled. Okay, so these are the 7 contrasting characters which are selected by Mendel in his studies, and he studied for 7 years and he considered the 7 contrasting characters. Okay, these characters are some first, that is these are considered as dominant characters and these are considered as recessive characters. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next session. But in this session, we are considering the 7 contrasting characters of the pea plant, that is stem length, flower color, flower position, pod shape, pod color, seed color and seed shape. So stem length, that is the two contrasting characters are tall or dwarf. Dwarf means short. Okay. Next, flower color, violet, and also that violet has contrasting with white. And flower position, axial and terminal. Axial means it is very near to the stem and terminal means it is to the tip of the branches. So that is considered as terminal. And coming to the pod color, in pod color again we have two contrasting characters. The dominant character is green and recessive character is yellow. So here many students will get confused with the pod color and seed color. So pod color green and yellow, but in seed color yellow and green. In pod green is dominant and yellow is recessive. In seeds yellow is dominant, green is recessive. Okay, so for example it is very easy to remember, pod color dominant character is green. If you went to market, if your mom tell to bring some beans, so which color beans you will select? You will select the green colored beans. So green is the dominant over yellow color. And coming to the pod shape, that is flat and constricted. Seed color, so it has two colors, yellow and green. Yellow is the dominant character, green is the recessive character. And seed shape, round and wrinkled. Okay, round means the seed having a very good circular shape, but in wrinkled the seed is completely, that is having many infrastructures. Okay, those are called wrinkled. Okay, these are 7 contrasting characters which are selected by the Mendel for his studies, and he studied for 7 years. 7 years, 7 contrasting characters. Okay, so these are the contrasting characters which might be asked in your board exam for 3 marks. Okay, don't forget, it is many students will not study this because this is an introduction topic and they will skip. But this is the question for 3 marks. They will ask the contrasting characters which are selected by Mendel. If they ask the true breeding lines, you should go for 17, and if they ask a contrasting pair, you should go for 7. Okay, so these are 7 contrasting characters: stem length, flower color, flower position, pod color, pod shape, seed color, seed shape. Okay, thank you. Hmm.